It's been amazing, honestly. It has its ups and downs, but it's like my family, so definitely just been so, like, just like being with my family and being cool.
My experience with C3 has been amazing ever since I joined. With all the opportunities that they give us to sing and the organization itself is just amazing.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to remember. I know that I had a couple of members of our concert choir here, Kelsey Miller and Essence Simmons, that were members of C3, and I think they were my connection. I don't remember the first time we ever made that connection, but I believe that was it, and they invited me to a performance, and the rest is history.
Why? So my mentor Lele Kendall, I met her at Impact program, and then I remember she said, like, hey, I'm a part of Christ Central Choir, so if you like gospel music and da-da-da-da, and I'm like, I love gospel music and I love singing, so like I'm about to go do it. Me and her became the best of friends, and so yeah.
Well, I guess it's like coming from home, and like I always sing in the choir at home. I always sing the praise team at home, and so when I found out that we have a gospel choir here, I was like, oh, maybe I should join. So and I texted the Essence, and she told me all the information I need to know to join the choir. So.
Well, I am from the South. I was raised in Alabama and Tennessee, places like that. And when I was in college, I made friends with a couple of gospel music musicians. I was very lucky, and then we ended up in Memphis together. And I ended up performing a lot of gospel music with my friends, actually, and we wrote some gospel music, and so it became sort of a big part of my life. I love gospel music, and so then when I finished working in Memphis, I went back to graduate school at Florida State University, where the choir director, who just retired, had been there for 40 years, Andre Thomas. He's African American, and he helped sort of, the gospel choir already existed when he came to that school, but he helped the gospel choir to become an ensemble within the School of Music.
Yeah.
And so when you're a graduate student, you're assigned to all these different choirs. Like you're in charge of women's choir this semester, and you're in charge of jazz choir, and you're in charge of this. And the gospel choir is one of the choirs you get assigned. It's a choir at the School of Music that you get a music credit for being in. It's awesome. And I would love to do that here at CMU eventually. And we would love to build a contemporary music degree also, and this is one of the ways that I think is one of the first steps, is to get the gospel choir in our building and have them be making music in our building, be a part of us here, because it's really important. And it's just a positive for everybody. More students who are involved in gospel music will think that they can come to CMU and continue to sing gospel music, as well as they can sing everything else too, but they can keep singing that. So yeah, it's important.
Nervous, but ready. I was ready to like change some things, start new things, and but I was definitely very, very nervous because I don't know, what's to come. But
it's kind of like a mixed emotion. Like I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because, of course, coming after the last vice president, I'm nervous because I have to fill her position and fill what she did, and it kind of makes me a little nervous. But I'm glad I'm in the position now, of course.
Right. The first thing we did, I can't remember which happened first. I think the first thing we did was we invited them into our building to hold their rehearsals here in the building. So they rehearse in the choir room 2 times a week. That I think was the first thing. Also, they were featured on our Yuletide concert last year and again this year. Now that's something that had happened before I got here. Nina Nash Robertson and Dr. Alan Gum, they had also featured the gospel choir before on Yuletide things. I pretty much wanted to make it a yearly thing, every single year. So those are the 2 biggest ways right now, is that they sing with us on that concert, and they use our space. It's their space too. We share the space for their rehearsals, and it's cool because we sing together at the concert. And this year they have their leaders come in and teach us the gospel selection that we're doing for the concert, and they get to work with our students, and the other students love singing that music. So those are the 2 biggest things so far.
Oh, it's definitely amazing. I feel connected with the music building and connected with like um I guess like all the other musical like ensembles out there, not just choir but like band, orchestra, like all these different things. And that's definitely been a blessing because I feel like we are a musical like organization, so why not be connected to the music building of some sort?
Literally every time we're in his office, we always talk about how C3, what we can do better and what we're going to do for the future. Like he has so many plans for C3, and so he's just helping us by getting Yuletide and getting the rehearsal space and letting us get in touch with the different people in the music buildings in order for us to keep going.
We need more variety, and it's a really, that's a great question, because we need more variety, we need more diversity, but also black gospel music is a really special a form of American music. You know, it's our music here in America. It has like African influences and Afro-Cuban influences, but that kind of music is really special to, really unique to our country here. It's a really cool part of American music, and we sing a lot of music in the choir world here. We sing a lot of music in the European, in a tradition we borrowed from Europe.
Yeah.
But we don't really borrow gospel. Gospel choir is like American music. It's really cool, and and it's something that our average, everyday School of Music student is not exposed to as much as I would like. So I think it's important for them to know about that music and sing it, and then also it just diversifies us musically and our membership too.
So I've been speaking to Dr. Edie, and he would like to. So we're discussing certain things. Like he wants maybe to have C3 or gospel choir be like a class on campus and for like everyone to like take and get a credit for. But we know they're still in the making and like seeing should we have people pay to like be a part of it and like what that would look like. But yeah.
So, cause me and Essence always just talk to Edie and Dr. Edie. I'm sorry. And like he always asked him how C3, and he would come to our concerts, and he just started asking like, well, do you want to be in the music building? Do you need rehearsal space? And we're like, yeah. So that's all me.
Yeah. Well, my dad was my music teacher. He was a band teacher, and so I went to college to be a band director. My mom was my theater teacher, so I grew up doing a lot of theater stuff too. So I went to college I played the trumpet, and I went to learn how to be a band director. But I was also a singer, but I never did choir. I just sang at church and in my mom's plays. So, but the college I went to, they got a new choir director while I was there, and I started singing in his choirs, and we became very close. And I stayed and got a master's degree with him, and I decided to teach choir. So that is when I went to Memphis and started teaching at a school, White Station Middle School and White Station High School in Memphis, Tennessee, which was it was an urban environment, a very mixed mix of students, great students, and that's where the exposure and the experience with gospel music sort of took off. Then after that I went back to get my doctorate at Florida State University, and then I came to CMU.
I'm most excited just to like have fun again, and I know that our sound is a lot different than like other sounds, so like I'm really excited just to, I guess, just sound different and just be that different sound there, so that people can like have like a breath of fresh air, like, oh my god, like this is so different, but I love it, you know.
I'm at C3. I was really excited, but I was also like, what's my voice gonna sound like after all this? Because with me being concert choir and then C3, I was like locally, but it was amazing, and I was really excited that he allowed us the opportunity to be in Yuletide. So
C3 is very popular. I mean, everybody loves it.
Yeah.
They kind of steal the show a little bit, which is fine with me. I love it. Everybody loves it, and I'll say, I think the music is exciting and different to the audience, but I also think it's the way that the students in C3 they grew up in the tradition of singing gospel music, and so they're very much just mind, body, and soul fully engaged in what they're doing, which always makes an impact on your audience. You don't really have to, nobody in that in that ensemble has to be convinced to like try hard or learn your music, or it's that's not been my experience. They are very much committed to what they're doing. And so it makes the performance very authentic, and people love that. They love it. It makes a great performance. They have great energy when they perform, and the audience typically loves it, and our students love it.
The legacy of hard work and just loving God. Pure just love God, not just to be seen, not just to look good, but just to purely just show God his like appreciation and saying like, hey, you gave us this gift, let's give it back to you in some type of way, as a family, as a unit, as a whole. So, yeah.
Bigger and better, of course, from where we are now. What that is, when we talk to Dr. Edie, he wants to make C3 a whole school of music class. And so we're in the process, hopefully, to get that going and to be more involved in the music building like we are in Yuletide. So maybe, hopefully, we can be a part of all their concerts as one of their choirs.
I'm not sure exactly how that works, but that is the goal. That's something I'd like to see us do. That's what happens. What I was describing at Florida State, where the gospel choir is a class you take for credit. But those ensembles at Florida State, it's a little different than here. You can sign up for like 0 credit, and so it doesn't make your bill huge as a student. So we have a lot of things like that we're trying to navigate and figure out how we want to do. But we would like for it to be something that the students can take for credit, and that's how it becomes on the books an official ensemble of the School of Music. That we in the music department are offering it for credit the way we offer band and orchestra and our concert choirs.
How do you think the relationship?
Yeah, that's a good question, because typically that can be really tricky if students are in an RSO and then you try to make it a class, but it costs money to take the class. It can be really tricky. I don't really know exactly how to answer that. There may be some negotiations we need to do where we can maintain the membership and the involvement, not have it become smaller just because if people can't, their schedule's full or they can't pay for another class. We have that problem a lot here in the music building. So I'm not really sure, but I think we are looking at some options about how we can make it easier for our students, for example, to take multiple ensembles, to be a part of multiple ensembles, and if we get that ironed out in a way that we think works really well, then it will make it much easier to integrate the gospel choir into what we're doing, and hopefully maintain and then increase the membership as much as we can. Yeah.
That's great. And that was our last question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds good. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Do you have
Yeah.
anything?